Hi, I'm Julian from DTG Printer Parts. This is my partner, Martin Lopez. He will be telling you what we will be performing today.
Hi, my name is Martin from DTG Printer Parts. What we're going to do today is we're going to change the print head. We're going to learn exactly how to change it, what screws you need, and what tools you need. Now, if you look down here, what you'll need is you'll need a small screwdriver set. And you can get these anywhere at a hardware store. Sometimes they're like $1 for a set, so they're not expensive. You can use a regular screwdriver or a magnetic one. We definitely recommend magnetic screwdrivers just because it's easier so you don't have screws falling everywhere. If you don't have a set like this that's magnetic, what you can always do is just rub a magnet on the tips and it'll make it magnetic. Second is you want to make sure there's no current at all. First, take out the cartridges. Then you want to release anything that you had to hold the sensor down. And like I said, you want to release anything from the current, so you release the USB cable. Make sure that's unplugged before you start. Make sure the power cord is unplugged. You want to make sure that there's nothing plugged into the printer at all, and I don't know how I can emphasize that anymore, but please make sure nothing is plugged in, or else you will blow a fuse on the main board, and you also risk, getting electrocuted. So make sure you disconnect any current. And then I'm going to pass you here to my partner, Julian, and he will show you exactly how to take this apart.
Alright, well, we're going to start by taking off the side paneling. There is 2 screws in the back that you got to remove to remove the siding. There's one. Then here's 2. Then you pop this right off right here. Comes off like nothing. And the siding, you just slide it right back and it pops right off. And this one pops right off from the bottom up. And there's 4 screws that you're gonna need to remove the top cover. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 1 right in the back right here. Removing the first one. Here's the second one. Okay, we're going to do the same thing to the other side, but as you can see, my partner's already removed the siding. It's the exact same way, exact same screws you got to remove. Then we're going to pop off.
But before you pop off anything, you want to make sure you release these cables. These are for the LCD screen. So you want to remove these, and when you tuck them back into the printer, you don't want to fold them or crimp them or anything, You just want to fold them enough to just bend them through and push them right through, and then you can pop this front part off. And Julian here will show you exactly how.
Get it from the top and try to...
Before you do that too, there's 1 screw on top that you've got to release for this whole front part to come out. And you got to always make sure that we get that screw, because sometimes, we always forget also.
Yes.
And it happens. So it's okay.
And then you pop off the front end. You be very careful because there's wires connected to the front. There we go. Careful with it because there's a lot of wires connected to the front for the LCD screen.
There's also the sensor and everything, so like he said, you do want to be a little careful. Don't be afraid to pull this. It won't break easy, but definitely be careful when you pull out. You don't want to pull and rip one of these wires, or else, that's another big mistake.
Okay, next thing we're going to do is remove the top. Be very careful when you're doing this.
You do not want this to get stuck anywhere around the wires or anything. And you know, you might want to close this top cover too when you open it and put it back together. Don't worry about it falling off. There is two things right here holding it, so you'll be okay.
Next thing, my partner is gonna
Release the print head.
Release the print head.
Yeah. Hand me a screwdriver, bud. So over here to release the print head, there's a plastic screw entrance down here. What you want to do is you want to turn it counterclockwise to drop the print head. Once you see the print head drop, you can move it right away, and Julian will move the print head. And there you go, and that's it. He will show you how to remove the top and how to get to the print head.
Okay, we got one screw right here that releases the top cover of the print head. Comes right off. Then we have these little cables right here. Pull them off nice and gently. Then we got these two cables. This white one, the black one, they usually come off pretty easy. Oh, that one's a little stuck.
You can use a small flathead. That's why it's good to have those little screwdrivers.
Then we got 4 screws that we gotta take off to remove the top cover. This comes right off. Just be careful with it. And then we got the little thing right here. All you gotta do, disconnect it, make it easier for you. And then we got 2 screws right here. One right here, and another right there. You remove those 2. Get your magnetic tip just to pull out the screw. I guess it's still in there. There we go. This comes right out. You just gotta wiggle it a little bit. There we go. You wanna hold that, Mark? So it doesn't get everywhere.
Okay. And when you take this out, you want to leave it upside down. That way you don't spill ink or anything anywhere. So you can just leave that upside down there.
Okay. And to remove the print head, you got 3 screws holding it down. You got 1, 2, and 3 right in the back corner. Okay. And 3. Be very careful with it. And you just pull out. Try not to bend them. And there you go.
Now, when you remove or put a print head back in, never ever put your fingers on the top. Never touch it. Don't mess with it. That would be the best advice I can give you. Be very careful when you take it out and put it back in. And as you can tell, when Julian puts it back together, he'll be careful with the print head, because that is an expensive part and you want to make sure that you do everything carefully.
Okay. Now I'm going to put it back together step by step. Very careful. Well, first you want to put these back.
And the cables are labeled. So they will say CN, I believe, 2 and then CN 3, right?
CN1.
Oh, CN1.
And CN2.
And CN2 will go on the top and CN1 will go on the bottom. And they're little slots that they come out of, so you'll see them when you take them out and put them back in.
It's pretty easy. And then you be very careful as you're putting it back down. There we go. Got one. Nice and snug.
Nice and snug.
Got two. Here's the third one. Okay.
Next, they're gonna put the damper unit in there, and then Julian will show you exactly how to do that. So I'll hand that over to him.
Thank you. There we go. Fits in there pretty snug, gets in there pretty easy, so there's no way of messing that up. You just get your two screws, put them back in. Here's one. Okay. And here's two. Okay. Then we get this piece back. Get this plastic piece. Slip it on right here. There we go. Make sure you get this one back under.
That's the C1 cable. You want to make sure that one's under.
There we go. You want to get the black one. Well, it'd probably be easier if you do the white one first. Then the black one.
Yeah, so white on white and black on black.
Then you reconnect these CN1. You can tell because it's slightly bigger. Then slides right in. And we're putting the 4 screws back where we took them off from. Two. There we go. Okay, now that we got all 4 screws in, we have the top cover. Put it right back on, just falls right back on. There we go. There we go.
Then after you do that, you want to put the print head back. And if you can hand me the screwdriver. Thank you, sir. You're going to screw clockwise until the print head rises. The print head rose, you're going to spin it just a little bit more. And it should not move out of place at all. So you can't push it, take it out. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go to this front. And we're going to hook it on there. Just want to hit it a little bit just to get it in there. Then this top part, I mean, I would recommend if you had someone to help, but if you don't, you want to grab both sides and just make sure you kind of spread it out so you don't hit any cables or anything like that. Now for the front over here, you're going to open it and you're going to pull this out a little bit because these cables have to go through this slot where we pulled them out from. You want to make sure again that you don't bend them, and it is going to be just a little difficult to put them through. Okay, then you can close it. Okay. Alright, so after you get this whole front part on and the top is on, you want to make sure this is open. Now you have these 2 little cables down here and they're going to plug in right inside. C2 is going to go on bottom. And you might want to put in just a little corner first in before you tuck them in. So you want to put the corner in first at the bottom, then tuck the rest of it in. And you want to just push it just to make sure it's in there. Then on this side, you only need 1 cover. So you slip it in through the top. Just pop it in through the bottom. And Julian will show you exactly how to put the panels back on.
Next, we're gonna put the screw back in right here. Make sure that goes back in. Your screw. Thank you. Put that right back in. Okay. We're gonna come right back over here. We got one going here. There you go. Got another one going right on the bottom. And we got one of them going right here. Okay. Then we got one more going right to the back. Okay. Now what we're doing is putting back the siding. Slide this in real quick. You want to put this on first. Pops right in. This one slides right into it. There we go. Last corner piece. There we go. We got the 2 more screws to lock in the sidings. Right there. We got the last one. Okay, there you go.
And there you go, guys. That's how you remove the print head and put it back in. And Julian here, gave you a very descriptive going on this. So if you guys have any questions or anything, feel free to give us a call. You can always go on our website at dtgprinterparts.com. Contact us from there. And thank you guys for watching.
Thank you.